Hi everyone and welcome back to our channel for women in India. My name is Parul and in today's video we will be talking about Jane Austen. Jane Austen is one of the most famous writers in English literature. Her books are read all over the world and have been adapted into movies. Jane Austen was born on December 16, 1775 in Hampshire Village, England, where her father was a scholar. She was the second daughter and the seventh child in a family of 8 children, 6 boys and 2 girls. Her elder sister Cassandra was her closest companion, and neither she nor Jane was married. Frank and Charles, her 2 brothers, were officers in the Royal Navy, while Henry became like her dad. James, another brother, was an officer in the military but later became a banker. Her brother Edward was adopted by her wealthy cousins. All her visits to Edward's estate were reflected in most of her novels. Since their father was a scholar, they were encouraged to learn. Her mother was a woman who was famed for her stories and verses. Altogether, the family had a great interest in acting. This family circle stimulated a context for Jane to be a writer. When Jane was 7 years old, she and her sister were sent to Oxford for schooling, but sometime later they had to return because of typhus fever. At the age of 9, Jane went to Abbey School of Reading, but after enrolling, they were withdrawn because the father couldn't afford the tuition fee. Moreover, after a period of formal schooling, she and her sister continued their education at their home with the help of their father and brother. Jane was said to have looked like her elder brother Henry, who was handsome. Hence she won the attention of a young, gentle Irishman, Tom Lefroy. But due to issues between the 2 families, Jane was kept from seeing Tom again. The Austen family was great at acting and hence they held plays in their barn where their friends and other family members attended. By the age of 12, Jane started writing for her family plays. She wrote poems and parodies of dramatic fiction such as The History of England and Love and Friendship. Though she lived a quiet life, she had access to the world outside through her brothers. She was closest to her brother Henry, who served as her agent and, after her death, as her biographer. Her first work, The First Impressions, became her most popular and enduring piece, which became the story that is known as Pride and Prejudice. Its first draft was done in 1799. In 1798, she began another novel titled Susan and a revision of Eleanor and Marianne, which later evolved to Northanger Abbey. When she was 25 years old, she moved to Bath, and after her father retired. During the 5 years she lived there, she wrote the novel The Watsons but never completed it. After her father's death, she moved with her family into a cottage in the village of Shorton provided by her brother Edward. This was the beginning of her most productive period. In 1811, she published Sense and Sensibility, followed by Pride and Prejudice in 1813, Mansfield Park in 1814, and Emma in 1815. She started the novel Persuasion in 1815 and finished it in the following year when her health was beginning to fail. The probable cause of her illness was a disease. She died when she was 41 years old. She did not receive any awards during her lifetime, but her work was widely acknowledged and read all over the world. How were women writers viewed in her era? Women authors in the time of Jane Austen had to deal with societal pressure and obstacles. First of all, the lack of education and opportunities for exposure was out of reach for women. Second, the publishing industry did not take a kind approach to women writers. Women were discouraged from publishing their work to not ruin their reputations. The ones who did not publish wrote under male pseudonyms to increase the acceptance of their work, like how Mary Ann Evans wrote under the pen name George Eliot. Even if the work was published, it was criticized harshly and more critically than that of their male counterparts. Some of the main accusations pointed at women authors were that their writing lacked depth and was silly. What was Jane Austen's impact on other authors? Jane Austen had a remarkable impact on other authors and literature as a whole. Her style of writing, marked by wit, irony, and a very incisive social commentary, has inspired many authors. Among Austen's many accomplishments is being recognized as the pioneer of the novel of manners, a genre that focuses on society's social behavior. Her strong female leads have been a striking picture of femininity and its complexities. Even today, various spin-offs and literary works are based on the characters. Modern romantic fiction owes a lot of its tropes and conventions to Jane Austen. It is hard to put a finger on all the fan fiction that has been written about the works of Jane, as they are spread across numerous platforms and archives. Most of them are reinterpretations and are continuations of her work. The number continues to grow as her work still attracts and fascinates a large number of readers. GOODREADS has pegged the number of fan fiction work at 622. This list was created and voted on by GOODREADS members. Jane Austen had received no awards during her lifetime. She never knew the critical acclaim and impact that she would have. She has been honored in other ways. As part of the Royal Mail's bicentenary celebration of Pride and Prejudice publication in 2013, Austen's works appeared on a series of UK stamps. A $10 note showcasing Austen was introduced by the Bank of England in 2017 in place of the previous $10 notes showcasing Charles Darwin. Jane Austen's house museum, or the Shotton Cottage, Hampshire, England, houses the 17th century cottage where Jane Austen spent the last 8 years of her life. One can witness Austen's life and work. There are displays of her personal items and manuscripts. The novel of Jane Austen has been translated into over 40 languages, and they are well known and loved worldwide. Apart from portraying a very realistic social commentary of the period and bringing a feminist perspective into the genre of romance, Jane Austen's works still matter today because they speak of the importance of having emotional intelligence and following your heart. In Austen's writing, women are encouraged to stay true to themselves regardless of social expectations. It is through her works that she was able to underline that marriage shouldn't be seen as an automatic obligation for women. Well, that's it for today's video. If you found it informational, then please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon to never miss an update.